So I've been doing this trade plate driving for on and off. I started doing it part time in 2020 when everything was locked up, and it was quite good then because the railway was running flat out, and there's hardly anybody on the railways and stuff, and the roads likewise were also pretty quiet, so you could get to wherever you got to without any problems of all the congestion. And I started doing it a few months ago, and it's I must say the railways. It's obviously there's more people on it, but there's obviously the roads. You know what they're like. It's absolutely rammed sometimes. But so you do have to pick and choose your times of when you can go. And there are different ways of doing it. I see another fella on YouTube, and he gets paid. I think he said he gets an hourly rate, and they pay all his railways and taxi and everything else. But I don't think he particularly gets a choice. He just gets told this is you're collecting this from there, and that's it. Get on with it, which is totally fair enough. I think that is a really good way of actually doing it. Other than you kind of don't get the choice of whether it's a van or a car or whatever. But I think the way he's doing it is spot on. The way that I do it is you choose these jobs off an app, and you get to choose exactly what job. There's nobody forcing me to do anything. So I choose what it is I want to do, and then I do look at the vehicle, and if it's some old van or something like that, I'm not particularly interested in driving. And they sometimes they phone me up, so, oh, we got a job. Oh, it pays £200 going from here to there or wherever it is, and you go, oh right, okay. And you think, well, I don't know how I'm supposed to get back from there. It'll cost me £200. In fact, that did exactly happen when I was doing it the last time. There was some car going up there, I can't remember where it was, and that was £200. And I thought, I looked at the railway journey back. Goodness me! And of course, when you're buying the railway journey on the day, the old price that go right up. Just looks at, oh yeah, no, thanks for the offer and everything, but I'll not do that unless you can pay me a lot more. Which says, no, we can get a little bit more. And then normally negotiate a little bit, but not to the extent of whatever. I think I said you throw in what the cost of the railway journey is going to cost this. You add that on, yeah, I'll do it. And I go, oh no, okay, don't worry about it. I don't, don't particularly want to work for nothing. So, well, why would anybody? Well, you might want to get out of the house, I suppose. But anyway, so the way I do it is to say that all these jobs, they're priced up and whatever. They will, if the job's getting closer to the mark and nobody's taken the job, then they'll negotiate a little bit more, and put a little bit more money on it. But it's never really absolutely fortunes. And of course, the danger is that somebody else is prepared to do the job for that money, whatever. So you kind of lose it. And so I've lost absolutely loads, but I'm quite happy. I'm really not bothered about it at all. But it is quite nice when you get them, and I've managed to get the other day. I actually managed to get two to tie up. It's like an absolute miracle, because the whole idea is that you go from one place to another. So I went from this one, I went from Romford to Bicester or whatever, and then you're supposed to get one back from there or thereabouts, back to where you came from or wherever you want to go or whatever. And not live in Romford, but anyway, and so this particular day, there's one going back from just it was outside of Bicester and going back to outside of Colchester. So for me, that was actually not too bad. So I took that, and like cost wise, I say that was it was I think it's 780 quid or something, £80 from Romford to Bicester, and then the other one back was 120 from. It's outside of Bicester, so 120 to there, and then it's up to me to get to Romford in the first place, and then that's up to me to get from Bicester to the other place, which was a taxi, and then to get back from it wasn't in Colchester at all. It's nowhere near Colchester, but anyway, it's right out in the middle of nowhere. And I particularly wanted to do it because it's a rural railway station. There's one of these ones where there's sort of one train an hour, and it used to be a request stop. And so that was I quite wanted to go there and see what that was like, and yeah, it was quite interesting. So, but anyway, so that day, so they will pay the petrol. So if you need to put petrol, electricity in the car, they'll pay for that. There's no problem. But it's just the taxis. That particular car was an ST3 Ford Focus ST3 going up there, and then I had to get from Bicester to the other side across. And I'd looked at all this up. I'd worked all this out to make sure it was worthwhile doing. And I was going to get an Uber. I looked at the Uber. It's only 50. That's right. It's £15.96. I thought, well, that's all right. It's it's what it is. And when I got there, it's about midday. By the time I got there, it's about midday. And I typed into the Uber thing, and then he said, "Oh yeah, we'll have a taxi with you in a couple of minutes." And I waited and waited, and then it just kind of reset. So, would you like to rebook? And I thought, well, no, I don't want to rebook. I just want the taxi, which you promised me. And then, so like a fool, I put in again. Yeah, obviously I want to rebook, so I did it. And second time, I'm thinking, well, I don't know if nobody picked up the job the first time. They're hardly going to pick it up the second time. But like an idiot, I hadn't really been thinking along those lines, and I just pushed rebook, and I can't remember what I did for a couple of minutes, and then it came back again. He says, "Oh no, we can't find a driver at the moment." Blah blah blah. Would you like to rebook? It's like, well, yeah, obviously I want to rebook. I want to get across to get the other car, obviously. Anyway, so I this 3 times, and by that time it's maybe 25 minutes or something had gone. I can't remember it. It doesn't sound a long time, but by the time I'd messed about, because when it said to rebook, I can't remember what I was doing, something on the phone or something, and I wasn't really paying attention to the app, and just went back to it to find out that it just cancelled itself. Oh lordy, so I don't know how I'm going to get across to where I need to get to. Phoned up the place, and this is another little thing that I obviously discovered. Obviously, I found out the place that I was going to, and said, "Oh look, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to get a taxi to you." And "Oh, do you want to use that? Yeah, we've got a taxi firm. We use this company and that. Use them." So I phoned them up. Absolutely brilliant. Fella turned up in like 5 minutes, and he said, "Oh, you're going across? Yeah. That's fine." He said he knew exactly where he was going, and he did take me to the right place. It's one of these airfield places, and I said, "Oh, how much is the fare?" Thinking, "Oh, it's going to cost me a lot now," and the whole fare was £15, so it's actually less than Uber. So it taught me a lesson. I'm never just in London. I think Uber's all right, but I'm never. Next time I have to get a taxi, I'll be phoning up the local taxi firm to see what they charge as the first point of call, and then check it with Uber and all this, that, and the other. And when we got to the site, he was very good. He took me around because it's a massive airfield. Although he said he knew where he was going, he clearly hadn't been to this place before. Otherwise, you'd just driven straight to it, and I certainly didn't know where it was. But anyway, we found it and gave me a £5 tip, so it sorted him out. And I was so grateful that he took me right there. But that all took about an hour, but all told, with all the messing about and the finding of the place. That again took another not long really, not long, but it took another 10 minutes sort of thing, which you just didn't, you don't really need. But certainly getting the bus there, that would have been impractical. Well, you could have get a bus, but then you'd have got the bus, and then you'd have had at least a mile walk, and then you'd have got to the gate of this airfield place, and then you've got to then walk another, oh lord, probably another half a mile at least, 0.8 of a mile or something, to the actual thing. And if you don't know where you're going, you've got a lot of walking involved, which is good. The job's good from that point of view, from walking. But when you're on a time thing as well, you just want to get there and get in the car and get going without all this delay. So anyway, so we managed to find that, got the cars, no problem, and that was a lovely BMW and that. And so there's no delays with getting that, and then shot off, and then went down to this place, Burrs in Essex. I've never been there before. It's nice, lovely little place, and there's a little rural railway station. And anyway, so there you are. So that was all right. But what I find is most of the jobs, they certainly the longer jobs. It's good if you're going to Scotland or something like that, and it's better than getting a train. But a lot of the jobs just don't seem to work out. The money's just absolutely terrible. The idea is to get another job back, and sometimes they put 2 jobs together, and the money, it's just awful. Even if there's 2 jobs going back, so say you're going from wherever, Hunstanton or somewhere, I don't know where you're going up to Scotland, and there might be another one going back to exactly where you started, and you'd think that it'd be double the money, and it's not. It's just like the same money. But I suppose if you want to get out of the house and all that kind of thing, it's all right. But I don't really fancy doing that, driving all day for like next to nothing. It's absolutely ridiculous. But there's some nice cars, and I drove a few EVs and all that. It's quite, and then you have to charge. You have to do whatever the instructions say about leaving it with so much charge. But the charging it, they're not. They'll pay the whatever it is, and the instructions are to just get it charged as quick as you can. Don't mess about with it. Don't care how much it is. And when I did it, I put 100, stopped at the motorway services and put 100 miles, 112 miles. It cost me £28. It's miles much more expensive than petrol. Obviously, if you're charging at home, that'd be all right. But if you're just charging outside all the time, then there's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no money to be saved there at all. That's going to be much more expensive than running a hybrid, or a petrol car hybrid, whatever it is. So that was interesting, and it's interesting speaking to some of the owners as well. Some of the problems that they'd had. I mean, one of the ladies, I'm going to say a manufacturer, but she rejected this car because they'd gone back. She bought it brand new, and it had failed 4 times on some module. Something not the. I don't think it was the actual battery. It was something to do with the battery. It failed, and it failed 4 times. And she said, "This is not fit for purpose," and I want my money back. And they said, "No." And eventually went to the ombudsman, and she won, and she did get her money back. And so not quite as reliable as they say. And clearly they couldn't fix it. Otherwise they would have fixed it. I mean, they did fix it for her at the time, put a new module, whatever it was, but something else was happening that was making this module, whatever it was, fail. So that was quite interesting. And then another lady on salary sacrifice, as she had a car for a little bit, and so her husband had the salary sacrifice thing, but the car was kind of for her, and that was all fine. And she said, "Oh, definitely keep it, but I can't keep it." And I was like, "Oh, why not? If it works for you." She said, "Oh no, it's lovely. I absolutely love it." But in her case, the salary sacrifice thing, she used it for her work and going around different people's houses wherever she went. Not fantastic mileage, but it was business use, and the salary sacrifice thing would not allow her to use it for business use for her business. Absolutely not. And she says, "There's absolutely no way we can do it." And they said, "Absolutely no." And so it's like, well, in that case, then I'll stick to my diesel Golf, because as much as I do love it, and I'd love to have one, and it would work out in all ways, that their salary sacrifice thing would work out, but not if you can't use it for work for which she intended it. So it's, a bit of a shame for her, really. There's another fella I dropped a car to, and his one had a problem with the charging thing. Again, it wasn't the actual battery, but it was the way you plug the charger thing in. Something had gone wrong, and it's quite a new car, and they didn't have the parts, and they just said, "We don't know how long it's going to take to get the parts, so therefore we'll give you another car until your car's fixed, because it might be a couple of weeks, might be a couple of months. We have no idea." I find that very strange, because they're still manufacturing these cars, and as far as I was aware, that they would have all the spare parts for a new car, and in fairness, they just give them another car to use. So it's very fair. So you weren't complaining about that at all, but it just seemed very, very, very odd to me that they didn't have the spare parts for the car. And they didn't know when they were going to get them. And this is a current car in production. So I just find that very, very, very strange. Very strange. But there you are. But I'm trying to think of petrol cars, and these were all these problems with EVs, not petrol. I mean, you obviously get problems with petrol cars all the time. But maybe they're simpler to fix or something like that. Possibly that's the case. So anyway, I hope this has given you some sort of insight. Put a comment as to what you think, if you've been a plate driver and you've tried it and it's worked out or it hasn't. There's loads of disasters. I've had a few cars where one where the car broke down, and in that case it was fortunately where I picked it up, and they just the job was just cancelled You get your money, get your full money on that one. So that wasn't too bad. And then obviously you've got to get away from there. That's happened to me. Oh, there's another time when I went up to a place and the keys for the vehicle weren't present, and so again I got it's just a disaster. So there's a lot of things like that kind of thing happen. Um, but it's a good job if you like walking, because you can work out where the cars are, and you have to have a walk from the station. And it's good if you like trains. It's quite interesting to see all the different train stations and different things like that. And if you can make it work out, a lot of the jobs, the idea is you pick up one job, like I was saying earlier, you pick up one job and then you get another one. But that day, I think that's a 12-hour day, so the money was all right. But it was a 12-hour day, and then got the train from Burst to Marks Tame. My missus picked us up, so it wasn't too bad. Expenses wise, didn't cost us too much. But as I say, it's a long day, and it was all right. It was all right. The weather. I'm filming this. There's hot days in June. It's absolutely roasting. It's not going to be pleasant walking around in this. It's too hot to be honest. But in the winter it gets too cold, and it's rainy and dark. It's horrible. So you sort of need the weather just right to do it. Anyway, do subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I was going to say about the other horror stories I had with EVs, and this was back in 2020 when I was doing it, that there was a fella, and there wasn't the chargers around. Now there's a lot more outside chargers, and they just don't care where you charge up. It's up to you, totally up to you, other than they just want it done quickly. And anyway, back in those days, there weren't the charges that there were now. And this fella picked up a car, and it's quite late on a Friday, and he had to go. Back in those days, he was told to go to a specific charger at a particular place. There was one charger, one public charger. So he picked up this car, went to this one public charger, and you can guess what? It weren't working. So he gets there, so he goes, well, what am I supposed to do now? The car's got 7 miles of range in it. Charger's not working. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere, and now it's Friday. Oh, poor bloke. And I think he got some more money out of them, because he was stuck there because they phoned the AA or whatever they do, whoever it was. And of course, none of that's been sorted out. You can't just bring along a can of electricity, can you? And now I think it's a little bit better sorted out. But the poor fellow was, unfortunately, I think he was down the road from a pub, and it was cold. In those days, and when he broke down, and he was there. I think he said he got home at 2 o'clock in the morning or some absolute disaster. And wow, that's just awful. See, with a petrol car, if you had a broken down with a petrol car, then you obviously just put some petrol or diesel in it, and you might need to, with a diesel, you might need to pull that through with the pump or whatever, through the filter. But that's all. That's it. It's not too difficult. But the EVs, but it's a lot better now. There's a lot more charges around, so it's not as bad as it was. Not as bad as it was.